Hey, Pete Staggy here from B2B Clarity. There is a marketing arms race out there. I'm sure you've noticed so many vendors pitching so many really amazing capabilities. There's a lot of pressure on businesses to gear up and spend a lot of money on capability that is, feels like it's necessary for business success. The truth is, there is no one size fits all marketing tech stack. And you really need to think through what you need and don't believe the hype that everybody needs the best. You can do a lot with the right technology for your business. Let's talk about CRM as a case in point. It's a really important investment. And I want to talk about it in a broad sense, the whole customer acquisition stack, if you will, and talk about what your choices are and how you decide what's right for your business. Things have changed in the last few years. It used to be that you really didn't have a very quality option below a very high price point. But that has changed with some of the new technologies and platforms on the market. And you really do need to make a decision about what level is right for your business. So let's start at the high end. The kind of stereotypical customer acquisition stack is something like Salesforce for managing your contacts and your customer company names, and a Marketo or a Pardot for marketing automation integrated together. And typically, companies that do this are investing, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the software, and then they need two or three or more people, at least two or three, to manage those applications to get to get enough out of them. And so all in, it could be a half a million and up for you every year to have that stack in your solution. There's also additional integrations like data cleansing and website integrations and things like that. It can get really complex. I've lived through that a few times, and in some cases, it's necessary. Right? It scales to a level, and it provides a really high level of experience to customers. But things have changed, and there are now options on the market that go down from there that have a lot of the same features, just at a slightly lower level. And some of them go down to really, really actually free to start. The example I'll use is HubSpot, and there are others too, where you can actually start for free. And even when you do move up to their pay models, those product levels are, can be hundreds of dollars a month, could be thousands too, but it's typically not $500,000. And it's typically a fraction of a person can get started in managing that for an entry level company using that kind of solution. So the reason that's important is not everybody, let's say you don't have a CRM and a really well organized CRM today. You can get started with something like a HubSpot at a very low monetary risk, and you also can adapt that solution over time. So there is a time and a place for Salesforce, Marketo, enterprise kind of CRM, but there are now options for you to 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 forget the hype and start with a actually really positive experience that's automated for your and very productive tools for your Salesforce, all those things at a very different price point. So how do you decide? It actually is harder now, right? Because there's multiple ways to go here. A couple things to think about. One is you don't want to do this unless it's going to pay for itself. It's hard to know what it will do for you monetarily, but you do want to try to understand how will this increase your revenue or your profit over time. It's also really important not to think of it in a narrow horizon, like 1 year is way too short, for a couple reasons. one, even a simple implementation like a HubSpot starting at the basic, it takes a long time to adapt and evolve your solution to be what you need it to do and to actually become valuable enough to pay for itself. It takes time. And also, you want to acknowledge that if you win a customer today and it's a subscription business, for example, and your average customer lifetime is 10 years, well, you're going to get a lot more value than just that order you got this year, right? You need to look at the overall customer lifetime value, and how what you do, what the CRM does for you, helps you grow that too, right? Anyway, that monetary thing is a really important input. You also want to look at some strategic value. An example there is a company that has struggled to get into a new market, maybe, and having a better CRM solution, better experience, gives them entry into a market that they frankly couldn't get into at all. So that growth opportunity might be enough to validate the need for that, even without looking at the revenue or the profit right now. So it goes back to your strategy, your target, your opportunity, and figuring out, is this tool and how much of this tool needed to help me get where I need to go. And then look at all the options, because there's new math out there and it doesn't all start at the high end. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'd love to chat more about this. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn or on my website. Have a great day.